Hello everyone, V here and welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. Now we are starting in the same spot as the last episode, but do not be mistaken, I did not upload the same thing twice. By accident? We just finished dealing with all this stuff with the kids in the monster shack. So now we have only a couple of extra things to do in the swamp before we go to Gatorman Fortress to rescue Charles. So the first thing first, I want to go to the sunken boxcar. This dude again. Cool, nice. Don't exactly care about him, but at least that's pretty neat. Okay, this looks very dangerous. I mean, I guess it kinda is. This would fail a railroad safety inspection for at least two reasons. I mean, he managed to make it work. Yeah, these poetry books are full of slant rhymes, of course. Yeah, perplexed by the hobo's decision to sleep with his head pointing downhill. I cannot argue with that. I would imagine that it will be extremely uncomfortable. It's a diagonal hobo, although I suppose from your perspective he looks normal. Right, and since we are all diagonal in here, we are speaking in cursive. Oh hi, sorry, I didn't know anyone was living here. I suppose I should stop being surprised by that. That's quite alright. I'm Pepperidge Dolphin. Welcome to my humble abode. Thanks, I'm Vivian Taylor. Nice boxcar you got there. Apart from it being a little steep. Steep? Oh yeah, you know, I've grown so accustomed to the tilts, I hardly notice anymore. Apart from when I try to play marbles. Your game must really be going downhill. Yes, quite. Let's go. Your accent is different from most hobos I've met. Well, my family is from old money, you see. How old? Old enough that it all turned to dust. All that remains a rambling old manor house that I can't afford to maintain. So I decided this would be a splendid opportunity to expand my horizons. The horizon is typically a bit more level. Yeah, why are you living in a boxcar in a swamp? Well, to be honest, it's been difficult to part with an old estate. This is as far as I've been able to get before the homesickness becomes overwhelming. Of course. Oh, how bittersweet. Indeed, I wonder, could you spare the time to help me? I could be done with the place if I had a proper souvenir, specifically my father's collection of antique padlocks. And you can't get them yourself because of the memories? It's more a lack of memories. I've forgotten where the keys are. Right. Sure, I'll help you. Thank you. There are 11 locks altogether. Except they won't actually be all together, will they? I'm afraid not, no. Here on my location of the house on your... Is it a sponge? There's also something I should tell you about the house. Oh good, here it comes. I just wanted to let you know, there aren't any ghosts haunting the property. There aren't any? That's correct. Not one. My family never suffered any violent or traumatic deaths. This is something you felt you had to warn me about. Naturally you're warning us. Just thought you might like to know. Huh. Well, okay. Thanks. I'll be right back with your 11 padlocks. Still, it's a pretty specific thing to warn you about. Okay, but let's go to Dolphin House. Okay, respect his wishes and leave. Sorry, I do not have enough muscle. Wait, before I go, because I'm being, let's say, haunted, you could say. Big shiny treasure chest, ignore it and leave because that's... Yeah, what? Yeah, that's a trap. Oh look, there's big shiny treasure chest and a tussock over there. Ignore. What? Really? It's a treasure chest. It's sitting right there for the taking. Once again, ignore. Are you kidding? What kind of adventure are you? It's a treasure chest. And the whole thing for adventures, opening a treasure chest and getting a cool sword. This game is set in the late 1920s. A treasure chest barely makes sense, let alone swords. Well, maybe it's an antique cavalry saber. I'm pretty sure you meant cavalry. Oh, don't you start that. That was the other thread. We way past that stupid joke. Are you opening a chest or what? No. God, you're so stubborn. Well, I guess it's been too played out now. It would be an anticlimax anyway. Might as well click on ahead to the next bit. Okay, thank you. Yes. What I want to say is that I am having this debuff there. Okay, embarrassed. I lost the embarrassed effect, but that's it. I still have the swamp gaze or something like that on me. Ah, crap. Okay, whistling man paddles a canoe through 2 inches of swamp water, hits a rock and capsizes. In a very shallow slam, he thrashes and splashes, screaming about gators. I calm him down. You take the anxious fellow's arm and set him on his feet. You tell him calmly that he's in no more danger in 2-inch water than he is anywhere else in the swamp. The gator wants him dead, he will be. You promise? He said, I promise. He thanks you. Okay, so I guess that, yeah, for now, I still have the swamp gears on me. -1 to everything. Kinda sucks, but okay, looks like this car was left to rot. Let's jimmy the lock. Opened. Dolphin padlock key tarnished. The keyboard. The key inside is not the key to this car, and if you have sense of humor like mine, you'll agree that this is a real shame. At this point, it's not your job to paint them. Paint it anyways. I'm gonna paint it. Okay, every single padlock requires a different key, and this door's padlock. Let's unlock it. Click. You pop the padlock off, and the door unlatches with an ominous creak. Okay, so that's 1 padlock down. Okay, some say that the most powerful tool is a padlock. It's really more the opposite of a tool, though, because it obstructs rather than facilitates what you're trying to do. Okay, psychogeologist, solid agrees. Nice. One of the center blocks was standing way too close to the others. He explained personal boundaries to it and performed a quick procedure to make it a little less creepy. Fair enough, thank you. Old Dolphin never got sick of tires, workbench covered with tools, all rusted past the point of usefulness, even as bludgeons. So I imagine they are just falling apart. Hey, this tree has a hole in it. Conveniently, the hole is slightly larger than your hand. Honestly, for what is ostensibly a horror game, we've had way too few opportunities for you to stick your hand into a suspicious dark hole. I'm not gonna comment. Reach in. You slowly reach inside the dark hole. It's damp and ominous, and then you find the key. Sorry, that scream wasn't really justified. Mossy. This should be it, I think. Oh, nice. And another radio. Good. We will be able to go to Rufus and tell him that we are done with those radios. Fancy serving card. Let's see. It's one of those serving cards they use in posh hotels and in posh manor houses, apparently, with a big silver platter covered with a dome-shaped lid. Just the right size to hide a severed head or a roast of some kind. Look under the dome. You cautiously reach out and grip the handle, then take a deep breath. Slowly lift the lid, tilting your head to peek underneath. Oh, it's empty. Enough fine china to feed an army. If only you could get past the padlock, and if you were in command of the world's hoity-toityest military. Okay, fair enough. Clean and well-lighted corner. I just gotta keep looking for proper padlock for each key. In Pepperidge's father house, there are many drawers rifled through them. Oh, nice. Dire corn holder. Melee weapon, but still nice. I know that there is stuff that allows you to change weapons, like from melee to magic to ranged weapons, stuff like that, but they are pretty damn rare. A match, battery, and recovered padlock. That's nice. And the oven is full of gross, steamy swamp worms. Ugh. Okay, one of those old fridges that people sometimes got locked into accidentally and asphyxiated. Yes, that's a thing. Oh wait, that's still old fridges these days. Maybe that's why it's padlocked. Yeah, because old fridges had handles like regular doors, so if you locked them, it was like this, this slider thingy, like with a regular door, so there was no way to open it from the inside. Okay, the fridge is empty of both expired food and expired hide-and-seekers. You did find a key inexplicably frozen into a block of ice, though. Nice, thank you. Anything good left? Kind of fruit cocktail. Oh, nice! +1 to everything! If modern technology has produced anything better than this, I don't want to hear about it, and I probably won't, because hearing aids haven't been invented yet as far as I know. Okay. Okay, done with this. Nothing over here. This is lovely. Hansford dolphin died of natural causes. Goldilocks dolphin died of natural causes. Beasley dolphin died of natural causes. Hortense dolphin died of natural causes. Mopey dolphin died of natural causes. Calpurnia dolphin died of natural causes. Yeah, this couch faces the wall. It must have been the dolphin family punishment couch. It doesn't work. Maybe something's wrong with the tank. Let's see. Well, here's the problem. There's a key stuck to the float valve pinch flange. Okay. And now we can flush it. Anything over here? This medicine cabinet is securely locked. Maybe it's full of deadly poisons. Of course it is. Okay, drop the... What, this bathroom is full of steaming blood. Oh no, wait. The red is just light coming through a stained glass rose hanging at the bathroom window. That doesn't really explain why the water is still hot though. Let's unfreeze the key. Yeah, nice one bath closes the eyes to relax, and it drops the key with a grateful sigh. Nice. Still somehow cold to the touch, okay. Wait. Okay, so now this is... Right, recovered padlock. Styptic pencil. Is that for when you cut yourself shaving, but it's not like you're gonna avoid the warranty if you use it on something other than leg or face or armpit blood. Oh my god, I remember these things. Holy shit, it's been so long since I've seen this stuff last, like, I don't know, over 20 years. That was -2 quacks already. Done with this? Okay, unlock it with a wet key. Okay, some dead in a planter where presumably a plant in a planter once stood. One empty drawer and one locked drawer. An eerie ghostly sound is coming from inside. Check under the pillow. Shiny, okay. Work pants and wire coat hanger, good. We don't need it anymore to jimmy the lock, but still good. The toy box is disappointingly empty, not even a BB gun or a creepy doll. Maybe the doll's hiding elsewhere. Okay, this is still closed. This door is padlocked. This door is padlocked. Let's go over here. Little jewelry box on this table. Amethyst armband. Inspiring ring, but it's just for companion. Okay, so never mind. Jump nail match. And dolphin padlock key. Disappointing. You're hoping this key would be much fancier. Nothing here. Radium Roche. The convenient thing about products with radium in them is that they're easy to find in the darkness of the coffin they'll ultimately put you in. Yeah, cannot argue with that one. Oops. I mean, back then, they thought radiation was good for your health, so... yeah. Yes, and the dolphin was superstitious enough to not store any padlocks on the inside of his attic. That's how you get family curses, probably. Okay, what do we have here? Lots of boxes, but none of them say padlocks on them, and you're not motivated to search them otherwise. Who knows what grisly things you might find. Okay, this workbench is strewn with bits and gizmos and bits of gizmos. Amongst all that, you find what looks like a miniature radio carved from driftwood. Good. I need this thing. A radio small enough to carry? Amazing! Maybe if you listen to it periodically, it'll warn you about any nearby monsters that are actually manifestations of your repressed promos, or maybe it'll just give you the baseball scores. Yeah, you hold the radio up to your ear. A boy's voice asks, "Hey Pop, where'd you get all that treasure? Is it a cursed pirate horse stolen from the ruins of an ancient civilization?" Haha, no son, nothing like that. Just sound investments in perfectly normal and moral financial markets. I don't... Normal and moral financial markets is an oxymoron. There is no way that this actually works. Yeah, those voices so eerie. But this is good, you need to listen to stuff right now. You hold the radio up to your ear, you hear a little girl's voice shouting, "Mom, no, a terrible ghoul stole the key to my nightstand." A woman replies, "No, you don't call your brother Ralphie a terrible ghoul. He probably hid the key in the potted plant in the hallway, like he always does." Nice! And another one. Recovered padlock, creepy music box. This is a creepy music box, which is to say, it's a music box. Dealing mysticality and spooky damage to all combatants. So if I'm aware correctly, this also damages me, which is not good. Okay, already done with everything over here. You hear a man's voice scolding angrily, "For goodness sakes, Agnes, you're obsessed with taping things to the back of paintings. Just like your aunt, one-eyed Calpurnia Dalton, you'll probably die peacefully in your sleep, just like she did." A pretty normal thing to say. Nothing weird or wrong or whatever. Could this be one-eyed Aunt Calpurnia, considering the eye patch and the fact that the painting is labeled Calpurnia Dolphin? Yeah, there's a key taped to the back. Classic Calpurnia. "Remember, Elfie?" says a woman's voice. "You mustn't ever open the door to strangers." A boy's voice replies, "Okay, Mom, because it might be a kidnapper or murder, right?" "Oh, I'm sure that would never happen, but it might be a vacuum cleaner salesman, and we already have one." Of course. I mean, wait, how many padlocks do I have? I have 8 padlocks, so I only need 3 more. Okay, so nothing in here. Already dealt with this room. Okay, already listened to this one. Let's listen to the radio over here. Man's voice says, "Ralphie, why on earth do you keep flushing this fish zester down the commode? Have you been possessed by some otherworldly or demonic force?" "No, Dad, I just thought it would be a funny place to hide it," comes the reply. Let's see. Nah, nothing else. I guess if there was something hidden in there, I guess I flushed it down. The basement of the swamp house is predictably completely flooded. You need some kind of breathing apparatus if you want to go down there. Thankfully, this is exactly something that I have. And this box contains the exact right amount of air to make it float like this. Nature really is glorious. These dry goods have been forced by circumstances to no longer refer to themselves that way. Rusty can of Vichy sauce? I have no idea what the hell it is. This creamy leek and potato soup is meant to be served cold because Vichy chefs are traditionally very lazy. These sadly ruined books have titles like Solved Mysteries and Exciting Tales of Non-Violent Crime. Of course. Oh nice, a pile of silver bars. Possible cursed riches. Not that a possible curse is going to stop you from taking them, of course. Not at all. Okay, anything in here? It no longer matters whether this machine is hooked up to the water supply or not. Clammy scarf, plus 5 for armor. Okay, nice. If there was ever any evidence of this scarf being used to strangle someone to death, it's all been thoroughly washed away. Of course it was. It's hard to tell how rusty these barrels were before the basement flooded, but it's also not important that you know that. Yeah, if I remember correct, the basement is actually pretty safe. I mean, not pretty safe, it's like an optional thing. You do not need to do anything over there. I mean, there's no padlock or anything. Okay, what do we have here? You hear a woman's voice saying, "Please be careful around the kitchen knives, Rebecca. They're very sharp. I keep them that way because, counterintuitive thought it may be, dull knives actually cause more accidents." "Yes, Mother, I understand," a little girl's voice replies. Okay, buddy, we already ransacked everything over here. There's one padlock here. There is one padlock on the higher floor, and there is one padlock here. Recovered padlock and handsaw. Oh jeez, is that blood over there? Oh no, it's just rust, never mind. Muscle, plus 4 physical damage and causes 3 bleeding. That's actually a pretty darn good weapon. The main problem is that it's physical damage, so against shadow creatures, it's not that good. If us were poetry, this key would be an ode to age and neglect. Okay, now let's listen to radio here. Owen's voice gasped, "Oh my, Clarence, why are you lying on the floor under your workbench? Are you alright? Are you attacked by a burglar or an axe murderer?" "Calm down, Agnes, I'm fine, I'm just practicing changing the oil in our car." Fair enough. And there we go, dolphin padlock key loose. So now we got... Wait, I just wanted to listen to one more thing over here. A woman's voice says, "Clarence, I'm so grateful that our family has never suffered from supernatural curses, serial murder, demonic corruption, or plague. I agree, dear, we certainly have been fortunate and doubtless will remain so." Of course you will, guys, of course. Okay. Fine china helmet, plus 4 to magical weapon attacks, pretty good for a cheese wizard. Yeah, you open the cabinet door and examine the stacks of fine bone china. Wait, bone china? Perhaps human bone china? Oh no, the brand mark on the bottom is a pretty well-known company, so probably not. Anyway, you find a really fancy hat. Yeah, like I said, the basement is an optional thing because... well, not everybody will be able to get the helmet because... I guess most people just completely ignore the fact that you can just snatch the diving helmet from the restaurant, from fish and chips at the Porkham University. Recovered padlock and perfumed wedding veil. Stench arm plus 1 moxie. Now, this will come in handy if you ever decide to save money by getting married at the city dump. Fair enough, but we got 11 recovered padlocks. Thank you. Okay, fragrance spores. Thank you. Hi, Pepperidge. Hello again, Vivian. What can I do for you? I found your father's padlocks. Thank you so much. You didn't run into my grandmother by any chance, did you? What? No. Was she supposed to be there? No, that would have been highly unusual if she had been, considering she died more than 30 years ago. Here's her padlocks. Marvelous. Once I've reaccustomed myself to standing on level ground, I'll be on my way. There's a big hobo camp near Ocean City that you might be interested in. I can give you directions. Ah, excellent. I think I will head that way now. Perhaps I'll see you there. Okay, and he took his bed with him. Okay. Fair enough, so what do we have left? There is Gatorman Hamlet, but we will not be able to get to that place just yet, so time to go to Mudhenge. You come across a busted and smoking truck in the depths of the swamp. The driver eating a sandwich in a cab gives you a sorry shrug. "Engine plumb ran out of grease," he says. They squeeze some more grease out of the engine. Mechanical mind always knows where to find a little more grease. Soon the truck's engine is slick and ready to sprint like a powerful horse once again. Yeah, welcome to Mudhenge. Yeah, very clean roof for such a Mudhenge. Welcome to Mudhenge. What is this place? Friend, it's Mudhenge. Is that like Stonehenge? I don't see the comparison. You don't? She sighs. Look, we could talk for hours about Stonehenge. Stonehenge is big, Stonehenge is strong. I've gone over all this, so with respect, what I'm interested in talking about is Mudhenge, which is a formidable monument in its own right, and so much more than a first draft of Stonehenge, as they sometimes say in the magazines. What's so special about Mudhenge? Special? Well, during the swamp solstice, it's said that the needle of a compass placed upon the central altar will point not to west, but secret west. Well, that is the thing you need the most. That's special enough for you? When is the swamp solstice? If you're in a swamp, it's pretty much always the swamp solstice. What is the secret west? I'm not mistaken, secret west is a direction in which lies that thing your heart is most missing. And it's said that a compass laid on the altar of Mudhenge during the swamp solstice will point to Secret West. That was the object of the Mudhenge challenge, but of course we don't run the challenge anymore. Too hard, too many missing presumed deaths. What does this mean? Think your heart is most missing? Well, it's kinda up to you. Up to your heart it is. Could be a secret crush, that new job, maybe just a piece of bread. And I'd like to visit Mudhenge. I already know where Charles is, so no problem. Well, and why wouldn't you? It's the best and most mysterious henge this side of the border. Admission is to meet. What border? I believe it's all of them. Here, have to meet. Okay, the history of Mudhenge is extremely boring. We cannot even read it. If I remember correct, can I? No, I actually can read it. Little is known about the history of Mudhenge. Okay, so, fair enough. If someone's going to lose their job at a fence factory, let's squeeze through. And now here's the thing, Mudhenge is a very specific place, because all these gates are portals. According to this, there's an old boxcar nearby that railroad company abandoned when it sunk into the swamp, so we've already been there. But now, these are portals. Like I said, when you walk through them, you will hear a specific sound. Wow, that was weird. If you, there are a couple combinations where you can find different things in this swamp. They will make specific sound when you do the good combination, and a little bit different sound if you will mess it up. Okay, so if I remember correct, it should be... Okay. Don Penny's crown is buried past the huge tower. Okay. Okay, still this one. If I remember correct, it should be this one. Right now, what's over to the east? Hey, this crazy gator man appeared out of nowhere and is camping at a bit to make sure you'll know what 5 minutes from now. Okay, let's deal with it relatively fast. There's 22 cold damage. You know what? I'm going to just make my pet rock deal most of the damage. Nice, I didn't even have to try. Get him and rallies for another round, but a hen rises from the swamp and drags him down screaming. That's not ominous at all. It does a complete change of clothes in a sack with a black and embossed card sticking out of the back pants pocket. Okay, drawn very strong is buried past the huge tower. Pretty so nice, you framed it twice. The nude is creed, nothing is warm, everything is visible. You like to leave everything in the back where you found it, nothing is your size anyways. Okay, I think it should be this one. Right now? This again? This? Now this one? And finally this portal. There we go. In the heart of the hedge, 4 new druids flock around the altar in unchoreographed ritual. One look at you and they just absolutely lose it, gnashing and wailing. It's clear that your presence here constitutes some kind of affront. You're not welcome here. Where you are welcome and where they put you is 6 feet under. I have no objection to nudism, but I will fight you. Okay, saxophone and flute. And go forth my pet rock, deal with them. They are not that powerful, but okay, you cannot see it because my avatar, but these guys are going to poison me pretty damn bad. So let's do it like that. Okay, so this one is done and this one is done. Okay, nobody is going to poison me anymore, at least. Yeah, but this dude reduced my stats a lot. Jason, 4 news scatter each in a separate corner of the earth. At last, the non-literal beating heart of Mudhinge. As you draw near, the needle on your compass spins wildly. Oh, it's as the guide outside told you. A compass placed upon this altar will point to our secret quest, where lies that thing your heart most desires, which makes this place far, far superior to Stonehenge. But the most that'll happen to your compass is that a badger might eat it. Let's put the compass on the altar. There's the question, of course. What exactly your heart does desire most? What are you hoping to find here in the endless gloom of this Mudhinge? Meat, please, and lots of it. The needle spins smoothly clockwise until it doesn't, seized by queer magnetic force. The tremulous needle switches violently between the cardinal and non-ecclesiastical directions. Okay, it's a horrible, upsetting sight, and it feels like a mercy killing when with a gasp of inexplicable breath, the needle holds still, its head pointing toward the west-north arch. Okay, well, that's supposed to happen. Nobody ever knows what Montage was built for in the first place. It was the west-north arch, so I guess this one. Or this one. Oh right, what the hell am I missed the direction. That's west. The other one was east. I'm good at this. Well, this is quite another hinge altogether. The mists of Mudhinge have parted, and we now stand before the great husk of an antebellum riverboat grounded upon the swampy shore. Wreck of the longer fellow, the needle of your compass bends its neck to point urgently towards the boat's top deck. You don't know how a compass needle can contort itself like that, but it's very unpleasant to watch. Mudhinge must have brought you here for a purpose. There's meat here, and you're gonna find it. A forge ahead with great purpose, that's one thing, but there's one more thing that you can do over here. Okay, time to fight these guys again. Wow, these are... okay, not that bad. Okay, Tim, and once again, and ice. But there's the thing. Yeah, oh hey, sure, finally. Where did the ticket lady go? West North Arch? There should be one more. Nope. I gotta finish with the longer fellow first, and then I should be able to. Do it one more time, because it will teleport us into one more place. Under this thing, there was possibly once a bookcase. You notice a crawdad has set up a camp and gathered a horde of shiny pebbles. It is guarding vigorously. A regular selfish shellfish. A crusty roll, physical armor by 3, okay. It's fine for nature to reclaim the shipwreck, but this plan doesn't have to look so happy about it. Yeah, fight for your right to make metal stuff. Oh, that's a strong one. And rightly so, and before we do anything, I'm going to wander just a little bit. Little Lacus with a fiddle, what is even going on? You swing your hips and give the swarm a little of the old soft chew and jaunty whistle, okay? The insects are super into it, despite the fact that you kill several of them every time you clap your hands, and when the show eventually winds to a close, they leave you a tip as they buzz away. There we go. The only reason why I moved around is for Dolly to be able to catch up with us. Okay, what a glittering prize has lured these rubber-necking stink bugs and beast this gloomy ring. Bearded bugs? Nope. A peaceful floor half-failed battle stations. Charge the bugs. So doing our standard thing. Not, let's say, ideal, but hey, it works. Of course, she had to go all over the board, but not finish off anyone in particular. But at least she did not die from poisoning, so... Now, what was it that so intrigued those bugs? Take a peek. A little bit of meat and, well, would you look at that? Look at it. Well, the other thing in the trunk is a magazine about model trains. Those bugs got the little bite marks all over its pages. Funny, those creatures may look different, but they like a model train just the same as you. That's not what I like. Right. I don't care about model trains. Okay, no, we are not leaving this place just yet. But we will climb this. I still can dream of no greater horror than the smushed Pro. Yeah, the speaker port is still broadcast, but the transmission is unintelligible. It's not that easy. The fuse inside the speaker casing has succumbed to swamp necrosis. That's a real issue for these wooden riverboats, especially when they crash into swamps. You discard the necrotic fuse and swap in a new one. With a replacement fuse stuck in its new bed, the transmission of which you had caught only rough fragments now makes itself clear. And be that it, have you finally fixed that infernal machine? Will you now once if you can hear me? Yes, it's working. Afraid I can't hear you, landlubber, only seeing. Now do you mind if I call you landlubber? Shake your head no. Now you don't want me to call you that? Not vigorously. Then landlubber it must be then. Fuck you, we can make the proper introductions. Speaking of which, this is Captain Dan of the riverboat Longfellow, and gives me no pleasure to report that my vessel has run aground here in this fiendish and soggy fen I call Davy Swamp Slugger. We few survivors been trapped up in the wheelhouse. Okay, so, what happened here? You shrug in a very general way. Wondering about all this, are you? Well, the Longfellow is a pleasure paddler. We paddle these coasts and show the passengers the time of their lives. This last sail out, a sparkling black cloud, otherworldly it was, hurled us off course and into this violent bog. Pleasure paddle fast turned pain paddle as our vessel were overrun by creatures and nasties. Only 5 souls and mine remain on the voyage, trapped up here in the wheelhouse for... well, for how long only the boat gods know. Okay, explain that you are going to find meat here. Through mine, you indicate your expectation of finding a fat stack of meat somewhere in this riverboat. Never was one of the charades, landlubber, but if I'm understanding you correctly, the answer is no, a jellyfish will not have sex before marriage. Okay, good to know. Nothing for it. You'll have to press on, or not, you know. You could stop this all right now and go do something else. Grad school, now that's an idea. And can you help? You mind the handing out of mail and packages, that's what you do. You're a helpful person. You didn't ask for this, I know, and you must feel like the unluckiest landlubber in the world. But there'll be 5 innocent souls in the wheelhouse with me blocked by broken pipes spewing scalding hot steam. Will you help us? Sure, fair enough. I ask that you enter the most private of boat paths, the hall, where the wildlife has done defilement most foul to our steam pipes. Funny be it now that the same steam that gave life to this boat also took it from most of the passengers. I think we're only beginning to understand the nature and whims of steam, but that'd be a mystery for another day. Okay, now the code to the whole door will be the birthday of the Longfellow, January 4th, 1845, but there'd be a catch, and I aren't talking about what we used to haul out for Friday lunch, crabs and such. We don't use standard or international date formats on our locks. We wouldn't be caught dead doing that. No, we use maritime basic. Year, month, day, month, day. What? You'll figure it out, landlubber. I'll be sure. Yeah. At first... Okay, browse the menu. What do we have here? When at first I heard that maritime thing, I was like, what the fuck are you expecting me to do? It took me a while. I launched on a boat, the riverboat Longfellow, Friday, June 3rd, 1947. For the sauerkraut crab on a cracker, soup crab on a cracker, egg seasoned crab eggs, fish crab on a napkin, poultry, chicken a la crab, salad, redressed crab with salad, holy shit, desert crab cream, cheese crab cream. Do you have something else than the crab? They eat the menu. Not even the distressed passengers of the doomed Longfellow resort in that. Eat it though. The wrecking the ship exerts a dreadful psychological toll on all those poor souls trapped aboard, and none can understand the special torment except by experiencing it, but you come pretty close. This is even wandering on board well after the fact and munching on a menu. Okay, now that was the try the combination lock. The door is marked by combination lock and the desperate scratches of the beast are unable to operate the combination lock. Yeah, that was 4, 5, 0, 0, 1, and 4. That did it. Released from the door, the lock dissolves into swamp spores and floats away on the swamp breeze. Yeah, let's pop in. Inflatable water slide with a handwritten message scratched into the wood. Don't tell the guests about the water slide. I don't care if they're expecting the time of their lives. 5 hours of pain and suffering to put it together, and they only use it once. Below that, another message. We're going to die on this boat. Oh, of course. Okay, let's close this thing. Hello, Neil gathers his gods. Its machination its own. Hit it. The guy has no controls and nothing that can be used. Just hit it. And now we just gotta make sure... not quite. We gotta make sure that the needle lands in this... on this specific highlighted point. Okay, let's try that one more time. Okay, this should be enough, with a little bit of luck. Now let's just take care of the bugs, and this should be more than enough. And since I don't want to... I don't want to spend too much time here setting it all up, so I'll just let my pet rock do everything. The laundry facilities, including this hand-operated washing machine, are kept well below deck. Guests don't want to see how the sausage is washed. Unglorious tiara. A tiara on a washing machine? Chaos truly did befall this voyage. Okay, classic pair of deckhand pants. But the deckhand wears on their deck legs. You can't wear them because you have regular legs. You wonder if someone does a deckhand running around without their pants, but given the state of this boat, it's far more likely that they are dead. I know this taped up inside the cabinet. A sailor's posse do's and posse don'ts. Posse do, remember your date formats. Standard, month, day, year. No, that's American. That's American and that's wrong. First day, then month, then year. Unless you live in Japan, then you have first year, then month, then day. Month, day, year is fucking stupid and counterintuitive. Even when you have 4th of July, you have day first and day month. Then you got month. Get that shit right. The local, radio international, yes, international, day, month, year. That should be the golden standard everywhere. Maritime basic, maritime plus, maritime basic reversed, maritime minus, deckhand basic, and there's the second page, maritime humor. What's a pirate's best part of the boat? The starboard. What's sailor's favorite joke? What's the sailor's favorite joke? Land. Leave all this alone, that was terrible. Okay, this works with a little bit of luck. Wait, I need to check one thing. If I can... Now, I thought that I would be able to run the pants through the washer. Okay, anyways. Now I can access the higher floor. I can fashion friend. Rarely would I put me trust in landlubber, but to come this far proved to have the true heart of a sailor. Yes, I keep it in a jar. Once again, I can't hear you, friend, but I hope you weren't joking around about keeping the heart of a sailor in a jar or something similar. Captain Dan likes a laugh much as any shipping, but there's something no man will be sure to joke over. And that's sailor's death. I think we all agree on this. Not getting to joke about dead sailors is the highest form of censorship. Nuh-uh. You scoffed performatively at the insidious threat to free speech, but received no response. But I'm afraid I must tell you that we have a new problem. You may have dealt with steam pipes, but now we're locked in the wheelhouse. Except you'll find the boat here in the crow's nest. You know how crows be. You do know how crows be. Now please hurry, some of the passengers in here be getting hungry, and I don't mean for a nibble on the boat telescope. Okay, let's... Leaving an unattended bags on the deck. Now is that a Poseidon or Poseidon? That's a Poseidon. Indeed it is. We'll make a sailor out of you yet, landlubber. And a battery. Nice, thank you. Okay, there's the above this corner to deck. Nothing of value, only a scrap of handwritten letter. The rest of the paper having succumbed to swamp atrophy. But having said that, Martha, the boat has taken a sharp and sickening turn into a black and shimmering tear in the sky itself, and I fear we are heading for land with unsafe speed. Grateful if you could call your father and rescue me from this impending unpleasantness. I will get this letter away too promptly. I'm sure that swamps have mailboxes. Of course it does. Okay, what do we have here? Just a couple of meat. Literally. Probably in some alternative universe, the back was filled with a fabulous treasure. Okay, Bosun, C.C. David, let's see. A brackish silk burbles in the bottom of the barrel. The remains of the David, grim and foul smelling. Okay, which one was that? There should be... Ah, there we go. The necklace. Sailor's cap, oh. There's little solid left in the liquidated bosun, but this crisp cap has kept its shape. Tucked in its brim is a sulky telegram which slips from the hat into the group. Mr. H. Longfellow, Riverboat, company stopped, hope you will stop, requesting permission to mutiny, stop, captain ordering ship into storm, stop, says passengers will love it, stop, crew plans to mutiny anyway, just hope you not be mad with us, stop. It did not go too well. A 3-out house is all light and dignity, below average. Note on the side of the structure says the standard combination doesn't work. Did deck and pipe log these up again? Okay, you don't need to use an outhouse right now, which is fortunate as the two unlocked doors contain not toilets but rat skeletons. The third door is locked. Examine it. Run your hand slightly across the roof and can make out a competence mark, the initials VH. Either that stands for Valid Hardware or Versatile Hard. If you haven't met Versatile Hard yet, you don't want any part of that. You don't want any part of that at all. Okay, let's just make it easy for all of us. This is still the same. This is still the same date, but in a different standard. So you have 0, 4, 0, 4, 5, and 1. And there we go. The lock slips from the door, shattering upon the deck into 1,000 tiny pieces. Inside the stall is a ruined toilet, which is no surprise, but on the back of the door is something quite unexpected. And we can flush ourselves through the time portal. Once again. We step from the outhouse into a beautiful day. The sky is blue and bright, the glistening deck freshly swabbed, and the passengers hail, healthy and freshly swabbed. You exist in a moment of joy, a frozen tear on a warm cheek. Wow. Okay, so let's talk to people. Pencil in hand, the passenger muses over his missive. Let's read. The letter in progress, sneak a peek. Oh, Martha, I was never fit to be a husband so long as my mind was cursed to generate my great ideas. For example, if you twist the cow differently, might we produce not milk but cheese? I must be free of our marriage if I am to pursue this notion. I trust this clears up why I dove out of the car so suddenly. Of course. I've never met Mr. Longfellow. Okay, we cannot. Perhaps he's too long to meet. If I don't see a whale on this cruise, I didn't manage to read everything. Hey, the crowd here is too excited about the stairs to let you through, of course. Fine day for a crab lunch, eh? Nope. I speak with the owner of the crown. I'm Cruise Traveler. Who are you? Who am I? I am Multitudes Traveler. To one I am one thing, to another another. To some I am a riverboat passenger, to others a countess of the city clocks. Show her the ruined tiara you found in the hall. What do you make of this? She barely glances at the tarnished double of her glorious crown. I have looked upon my bones before, and I expect I shall again. Nice crown. Tiara. Can I have the tiara? I'm sure you can possess it, but I don't believe it can ever be had by anyone. Where'd you get it? It was gifted to me by a scientist that sacrifices half for a city that has stopped breathing. What city is that? It is dead and buried. Let it remain thus. You seem interesting. Indeed, I bear many curses. How much for the tiara? It has a price, yes, 100 meat. Gosh, that's more straightforward than I expected. I do not tell you what I want, I tell you what the price is. Okay, I'll buy it, thank you. And she abdicated the tiara without ceremony. This is a purchase by you of a city from its final countess. Neat. She turns in silence to face the waves. Okay, we could try to warn her. Look, this boat is going to crash. Yes, I think you should not be here when it does. Just not looked at you once this whole time. Yeah, fine cruise to you, goodbye. Okay, and we can talk to this dude. Right, there's no access to the promenade right now. The stewards are tastefully arranging the lunch, and the slightest disturbance could throw off the tastefulness. Yeah, what do you make of Captain Dan? The captain's disciplined, alright, and no mistake. I like to joke that Dan stands for discipline and no mistake. Now, that's a joke you like to make. Correcto. Do you transform into a crow in the future? Hope not. Let my crow face be high into my 20s like any lad. I think this boat's going to crash. Sea travel is pretty safe, I assure you. Statistically, it's more dangerous to ride a motorcycle into the ocean. You have to stop this boat. Stop the boat? The captain wouldn't have heard of it. He took his charter to show all his guests the time of their lives, and that's just what he needs to do. Well, goodbye then. But since we got the tiara, there we go, the rattle crow pecks right up as he exits for the outhouse. And that big good for one thing, it's sniffing out sparkling tiaras. With great agitation, he flaps his giant wings and leaps on the deck right at you. Like a King City second cousin, he wants the crown and he's going to take his shot. Throw the tiara through the time door. With a supernatural whoosh, the tiara is sucked back to whence it came. Undeterred, the crow pursueth. He's gone, lost in time and destined to become his own grandfather, or yours. What now? What now? We can go back in. Yeah, the crow is bound and awaits extradition to Skyport. No need to panic, pal. The second I saw the crow lurch from the outhouse, I hadn't plotted on the deck. His wings bound with a secret sailor's knot. You were never in any real danger. Was that crow holding a tiara by any chance? I'm afraid the crow swallowed it in a scuffle, pal. Drat. But at least we managed to bypass a relatively unpleasant fight. You always heard about the crow's nest in the boat. That and the crow's hole. A crow bullion. Yep, and the more we are going to rifle through their nest, the more crows are going to appear over here. Okay, crow currency, still using the gold standard Blazer heart, where government is fast moving to a fiat meat system. No, gold bars are the standard. Sorry, I know that I sound weird right now, but if you want to save up and don't worry about money inflation, get some gold. A longer fellow ring makes you longer. A ring to promote in conjunction with regular exercise and a balanced diet, the longering of a fellow. A wheelhouse key, that's good. It's a key and it looks long enough to unlock the doors of the longer fellow. Okay, I think that's all of those. The giant and ghoulish crow asserts unchallenged dominion over the boat's top deck, and he rules not through love but fear. What is scarier than a crow? Me, I am. What is that? A human outscare a crowd? If you figure a way to do it, then let the rest of us know, would you? Or you'd be the first in the history of the world. Okay, flex your arms menacingly. The crowd pales like a dolphin at the guillotine and scurries as fast as a giant wave can fly. How old is he? Okay, scare him to death. Okay, that's one crowd scare, but two, not even an actual scarecrow could manage that. Okay, stare into the crowd's very soul. The crowd's dark feathers run white, and with the last vestiges of his strength, he abandons the deck and communal nest. Shattered his mind. Okay, watch of a tricksy crow fighter is spreading fast along the boat. Soon the myth itself will evolve its own life and thoughts. Okay, Salvador is the most beautiful phrase in the world. Say it backwards. I don't... Relic? Oh, okay, never mind. The crow staggers overboard, grasping at his last scraps of sanity like a sudden tear in a bathing suit. This power of yours, it's one to be used responsibly. No, it's not. Okay, fright the bird. What do we have here? The whole swamp now is fertilized, and it hatches with talk of the traveler who gobbles up the courage of crows like so much country stew. So mythic is this figure, nobody would believe that you are mortal, are they, unless you show them. Okay, what do they let your eyes do the talking? Open your eye mouth, third eye in your bicep, your tongue with malice, eye mouth, because this sounds pretty terrifying actually. The first farmer to stick a scarecrow in his wheat field was never really satisfied with creation. Sure, it worked, but it didn't look like what he's seen in his mind. The thing he saw those thousands of years ago was you. In this moment, you are the scarecrow. You have always been the scarecrow. But I don't want to be the scarecrow. Okay, amount for binoculars. No, with the binoculars missing, the opportunities for sightseeing are minimal. Also, you're in a swamp. Look anyway. Few feet out from the riverboat's carcass, the frog is fighting off a heron with a whip. Rarely are you afforded such a close-up view of nature. Okay, there's a skeleton hiding in an apple barrel, bobbing along with a few apple skeletons. Okay, not talking to this thing. Let's just knock and unlock and go inside. And there we go. This was a robot all the time. The creaks reach your ears before the creaker your eyes. Suspended from the ceiling, this boxy thing given motion lurches left, right, and down, straining at the spring wrapped to its back. There is no ship's captain, no passengers, no meat. This automaton, this creature, is the only living thing in a real house, if you call that living. Captain Dan? A landlubber in the wheelhouse, this is the day most dreaded by every sailor, a worse fate even than a chomping by the kitten's beak of a frightful sailor. I can only guess that the boat's being on land has imbued you with extra powers, allowing you to make it this far. You're Captain Dan? Though the crew would joke my full name ought to be Dangerous Machine, but that is only a joke. I go by Danny Machine, which in turn is short of Dangerous Machine. Of course. Well, I'm not supposed to rescue you from the wheelhouse. I'm afraid even a passenger on my riverboat cruise. When me that needed saving from the steam, the crowds and the bar, but you needed killing by them. Hey, what have you done, Dan? A machine I be landlubber made to follow instructions. My instructions were to captain this riverboat and show all those aboard the time of their lives. The time of their lives, you see. Time meaning beginning, middle, and end. To fulfill me task this letter, I had no choice but to ram the riverboat into a monstrous swamp and terminate every living soul abroad. Right, some questions. That's a faulty programming. Water away, that's how we say fire away at sea. Any chance you got a huge amount of meat stashed up here? Meat? Huh, I have no use for it. I wonder why Mudboat sent me here then. Mudboat? You been thinking of Stonehenge, landlubber? Yeah, your logic is a little strained. A whispering landlice lover. What you believe to be faulty reasoning is mere misfires in your rotting brain. To me, a perfectly correct creature of logic and a modern sailor to boot. What I've done as captain be not just logical, but very, very good and smart. You know, you've misinterpreted time of your life. Misinterpret? The only miss I know, landlubber, is that powerful mistress we sailors call the ocean. I be a sailor, you know. If you're a sailor, you'd know your posse do's and posse don'ts. That's why we had to read everything. Like always. If you're a sailor, you'd know your posse do's and posse don'ts. What of it? I hardly need a lecture on the posse do's from a land leech. Killing your passengers and crew is, to me, a big posse don't. Captain Dan dangles uncomfortably from his rod rafts. Even I, a landlubber, know that. Captain Dan's wooden loin starts to spin like an owl on a merry-go-round. Do you know less about the sea than a landlubber? Captain Dan's limbs spin and spin, threatening to overheat until instead he whimpers into non-existence. He feared you the most, Vivian, and always did. For all his faults of logic, he fancied himself a sailor, to his wooden bones, and it is a tenet of nautical prophecy that the only thing can kill a sailor is a warrior from the land. Okay, fair enough. And all this for 20 experience points. This should come in handy, unless what you need is a functional telescope. Your enemies will never see it coming, getting knocked on the noggin with a bendy telescope, not even if they had access to their own bendy telescope. Louis Dan shattered into wormwood, his anchor laying an automaton hell. No longer shall he menace land or sea, and this little patch of swampland is safe once again, if not especially desirable to visit or live. A good riddance. Okay, let's take the wheel. The long fellow steering wheel, a traditional wooden ship's wheel in a non-traditional location, your pocket. I swear into the microphone. Despite radio's limited broadcasting area, the fluffy and unprintable words from your mouth blast a horrible smell across the country. And at this exact moment, many miles away, a creature's eyes snap open for the first time. The Federal Radio Commission has been born. You're banned from using the radio. Let's turn the console off. Just like that, needle reverts to its normal function pointing west. So, there never was any meat here? Just some electrical interference confusing your compass? This would never happen at Stonehenge. And before I do anything, there's some stuff that I can still read. Okay, so these are all just upgradable skill butlets. Okay, call for backup has been upgraded. You read through all of Greta's wackadoo rituals, you and your familiar bond over how lame it all is. You donate the book to Aniba Thrift, so just so you don't accidentally read it again. Thanks. Okay, so now I just have upgradable stuff. Okay, but I have increased maximum health points, some extra sleeve armor, some extra cold armor, which is good. Okay, there's one more chapter, okay. You're not interested in mutton acquisition, but the tips have some general applicability. The final chapter has a density of information that is going to take some time to parse. There are some mutton recipes for sure, but also detailed information on basically every other kind of meat that exists. They want to foray into the text. And that's good. I got all the regular skills done. Meat drops, hot armor. Good. Okay, but now that we are done with the wrecked riverboat, time to go back to Mudhenge. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, once again these things. I'm gonna do this one. Now my familiar will act 3 times. So that's more than enough to finish off everybody over here. Okay, back to Mudhenge. Okay, place the compass and really focus on meat again. The needle swings smoothly this time to the southern arch. I'm coming, meat. Wait, southern? So over here. Hey, where am I? You will see. Okay, Gustav's egg. One of 52 unique eggs created by Gustav. It's said that if the eggs were ever combined, they would form Gustav's omelette and block out the sun. Must do physical damage to enemy and reduce all its stats by 5. Nice. Gain 401 meat. Well beyond measure, assuming a measurement system that ends at 400. Still, that's meat. Dead Sea Scroll. Just says quotes over and over. Most of the boxes here appear empty, but there's a very tempting one labeled simply Calico Ham. One person's trash is another person's treasure, not yours though. There's a sticky deposit here in the name of Mitchell Van der Yacht. A desiccated malt decays quietly in the drawer. Okay. Safety deposit box belonging to one Spiral Gershwin. Old onion sandwich. Yeah. They must have wanted to save it for later. Stands the Robespierre. Powdered wig. Regenerate an extra 1 AP. Looks like exactly like human hair, but it just can't get rid of the goat smell. E.R. Tidyman. Roll of duct tape. Nice. It's nice to have something practical mixed in with all the riches. Chelsea hosting gutter. Okay. Just looks like salt in here. Okay. Live the latch. Door is unlocked and you can come and go as you please. Yep, that giant safe was held just by a tiny door latch. The plaque has gone green with age. Today we celebrate our opening of Secure Burris Building and Loan at Plunkett Street, Ocean City. Yep. This miraculous little lamp has burned for 20 years and counting, keeping a single solitary vigil of the dying of the bank. Let's turn it on. Standing by the cash register, fantasize about why would you like to have a service job instead of whatever it is you do. I work at a gas station and a restaurant. Oh, that's right, I'll open the cash register. The door is sealed shut and there's no obvious way to open it. There's nothing you can do with the cash register at all, in fact, other than bank on the numerical keys, as Toller might. Bank on which keys? Yeah, it's satisfying to smack the big keys, but no further effect is produced. So, force the door open. The metal door comes loose with a firm pull from a powerful horse's hands, but your doing so triggers the bank alarm. That's what I was trying to do. Meat lines the drawer in uniform piles, 19 meat. No wonder banks are collapsing if this is all they got to the till. And there we go! That's one of the ways to get in there. Okay, without anything specific, let's check because I'm pretty sure one of the photos gave us a date. Aha, there's something about that wrecked riverboat in the swamp. Today, a new charter riverboat, the Longfellow, was announced. Those possessed of sufficient endowment to charter the vessel are guaranteed the time of their lives, according to the boat's owner, Mr. Henry Longfellow, who is the younger and longer brother of the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. At the riverboat champagne christening on the Crystal Green River, one reporter was heard to joke, "Is there a longest fellow?" To which Mr. Longfellow replied somberly, "No, that is a myth." Okay, what do we have here? Bond's papers tell of the McAllister murder trial, which ended in a mistrial when the star witness was metamorphosed into a tree. Besides such incident that year, Mr. McAllister praised the outcome as a victory for the rule of law and forestation. Okay, let's find something interesting. Today saw the grand opening of a new banking concern, Secure Burris Building and Loan. Residents of Ocean City watched in appalled disgust as during the opening ceremony the maximum security boulder was installed backwards, sealing inside their savings and valuables for eternity. The bank's chairman reassured worried customers the mistake would not affect operations. Of course. What happened next? 10 minutes later the bank was closed permanently. Banks can't trust them. Okay, and there was this. You find something interesting once again. To commemorate Editor-in-Chief Grover Bergey's birthday, the August 5th, 1900 edition of the paper is printed entirely on meat. That's awfully generous of him and explains a fair amount about how this place went out of business. You pluck it out of the archives. Thank you. And once again, today's paper tells of the disappearance of the charter riverboat Longfellow. All passengers and crew are presumed deceased. The riverboat's owner, Henry Longfellow, is quoted as saying, "There are many things that are long, such as boats and some distances, but the longest of all is grief." The article is not much filled, but further down the page there's a coupon for free meat. Click the coupon. Who would print this? Yeah, the coupon says you can get 50 free meat, but doesn't say where to redeem it. Could it just be any shop? I don't think I need any extra free meat. I'm going to check one thing, I can uncurse myself. Or more like, if I can uncurse the sword. Ah, there we go, remove your gears. Hey Jessica, does this thing get rid of geases? The plural of goose is just geese? Why do you have geese? No, geese, like a curse, kind of. Oh, well then sure, probably. Do it. And inside the contraption you feel a whoosh, a pop, and a little pain, nothing like having your ears pierced, and indeed there's a spot of pus that follows the procedure, although not from where you think. The geese is gone. Good stuff. Very good. No problem. I'm happy with the outcome. Okay, so now one more thing. I know that it's been a little bit longer with this episode, but I want to... Okay, what do we have here? Inspect the reactor. Okay, fix the reactor. And good. Now let's talk to Rufus. And get him back the receiver. Here's your receiver thingy. I hope you got enough clicks and bloops for you. Thanks, I'll give you a ring when I've finished doing the math. Could you also give me a ring now? Oh sure, must have one around here somewhere. What do we have here? This will be extremely chaotic. It's still a matter of debate for God plays dice with the universe, but it's unambiguous that this ring does. I love it, thanks Rufus. No, I'm not going to use it, but still. We bust up the big moist. And now the only thing left for us to do, no, not the Gatorman Fortress, but there's still two missing kids. At Largemouth Bass and Sons. Okay dude, you do not need to constantly scold me. But yeah, this is it. We still need to find the kids. Once we find the kids, then we can go and rescue Charles. Thankfully, we are not on a time limit. So, yeah, and now since it's been definitely over an hour with this episode, it's time for me to wrap everything up. So, without any further delay or anything like that, that is all for today's episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Have a great one.